How's it going, everyone? Today is our first ever episode of How To Tuesday, which is a series that we're going to be doing of how I do things as a quadriplegic and hopefully shed some light. Maybe some other people can come up with ways to do it. Here's our first installment. Just so we're on the same page, my diagnosis is a C6 quadriplegic, Asia B, which means it's a whole lot of technical terms, which basically means that I have had all four limbs affected, meaning my legs are paralyzed and I have partial paralysis on both of my arms. My hands don't work in the sense that I can't really use my fingers. I can wiggle a couple fingers on this hand, but not more than that. And my triceps are also paralyzed. I have functioning biceps and functioning shoulders and normal feeling above the chest rather. And then Asia B means that I have feeling everywhere. But it's not, there's certain feelings that I don't have. Like I don't really feel hot and cold temperature. And I have limited pain feeling, even though I still feel pain. Just like if I got slapped or whatever, I would still feel that. The feeling is kind of like if you had a rubber or latex glove on your hand and people were to touch you there. That's kind of what it feels like on my body. So it's kind of hard to explain, but hopefully that gives you a little more understanding what it's like. To set a foundation for all these how-tos, I had to go over something extremely important. As a quadriplegic and my fingers don't work, I can't necessarily just pick up or grasp things or do normal household things the way that you would expect somebody to do. And so everybody actually has this thing called Tenodesis. And what that is it means that your wrist, when you lift it up like this, your hand automatically closes. When you let go, your hand opens. Everybody can do this. You can do this at home. Try it yourself. But that is the way I'm actually able to pick up things and grab whatever I need to. For example, all of these household things I do on a daily basis, I use Tenodesis for. So, for example, if I'm thirsty, I want a water bottle, I'm able to just loop my finger in here and then pick it up like that. Loops and other loops are great for me, a lot easier to kind of wiggle my finger through and pick stuff up. But some of the more difficult things are like a cell phone. Obviously my hands, I can't just open and grab my hand like that, so I let my hand open like this. I kind of finagle, sometimes I have to use two hands, my fingers around it, and then when I'm ready to pick something up, I bend my wrist back, my hand closes tightly around the object, and I'm able to pick it up. Next, like with AirPods, they're a little bit smaller, so I can just wrap my hand around that. And if I need to open up the case, all of it is using Tenodesis to grab stuff. I'm able to pull that up, and I cheat because I use my teeth for a lot of things. But for example, I want to put this AirPod in my mouth or my ear. I am able to wrap my fingers around it, tighten up my grip on my wrist just enough. I can readjust somewhere that's a little more comfortable. And pop that in my ear. Now I'm jamming. Another thing is using utensils. I use Tenodesis to eat and use forks, so I'm able to kind of wrap the fork. A lot of it takes a lot of practice and learning how to do something. But if I've got a utensil, I'm able to kind of thread it through my fingers, and then pulling back my wrist, everything tightens up, and I'm able to hang on to it. So use that, and I can do it just fine. But early on, I was able to needed to use something like this. It's just a rubber foam kind of tubing that goes over a lot of things, utensils, pencils, pens, whatever I needed a little extra width to grab on until I was able to figure it out more on my own. But these types of tools are super helpful if you're having a more difficult time grabbing something up. Early on, I needed some things like this, but since then I've been able to figure out how to not use it. I really try my best to not use adaptive equipment, because if I'm ever out if I'm at a restaurant or if I'm at a park or whatever, somewhere else, traveling, and I don't have my thing, I hate having to be dependent on something that I can't use if I don't have all of my equipment. And so I just learned to do without, and it's been a great blessing in my life to be able to do that. So Tenodesis is a critical way that I'm able to live my life, and I'm super grateful for it and the functionality that I have. This is something that is specific to C6 and lower injury levels. There's 8 levels in your cervical spine, which is in your neck area, and they each control a different function. Where I'm at as a C6, why I'm classified as a C6 is because I can bend my wrists in this way. All right, guys, well, thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe to show your support. and we'll see you next Tuesday.